Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Rewind, Relive, and Review. We are doing another Sizzle or Fizzle. I'm Rick,
This is Kaz, y'all.
and today we are about to give y'all a double dose of Van Halen.
One,
And in
two.
this first video, we're going with David Lee Roth. Um, the fandom is split when it comes to Van Halen. There's a lot of people that prefer Dave, a lot of people that prefer Sammy Hagar. And then there's a few of us that actually like both. I take it or leave it. Just don't put Gary Sharon in the mix. That's another story for another time. But anyway, back to this episode. We are definitely going to be talking David Lee Roth in this one. And the song that I picked was Little Guitars off of their album Diver Down. And you could pretty much pick any Van Halen song for any reason. The reason that I chose this one, I like the intro because it showcases what Eddie can do on acoustic, and he's just as good on acoustic as he is on electric. And then there's the showman, David Lee Roth.
But wait, before you leave the Eddie thing, it's not just an acoustic, it's a mini guitar.
That's right. It's a mini Les Paul acoustic, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I forget what he called it, but they said that it was presented to him, and he almost didn't take it, and they decided that they talked him into it. So that's what he played. He played it on the song, on the track, as well as every time they played it live. That's the guitar that he used. But it's the first and only time he ever used it. Anytime he's not playing that song, that guitar is not out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Without further delay, let's get started with Little Guitars from Van Halen. There's just something about that intro that I like. Just something about it. I almost pulled my guitar off the wall, but I'm not that good. Probably never will be.
You'll probably knock him out the box.
Nah.
Actually, he said that this solo that he did have the ability to play this solo the way the average guitarist plays, which is picking what he did. So he had to find a way to be able to do the solo because he doesn't have the ability to pick. So the way he played it here in this song is not the way most guitarists would, be picking with the fingers, with the various picks on their fingers. That's not how he did it.
Interesting. See, that's why Ed's one of the masters. And one of these days, we're going to have a show where we just take people's votes on, the top 10 guitarists of all time. Again, that's another story for another time. So before I run off the subject, let's get back to Little Guitars from Van Halen.
There you go.
have to stop it one more time before we finish through. I want to give a shout out to Michael Anthony, the bass player for Van Halen, because his background vocals, they are really what make the band. And nobody's ever accused David Lee Roth of being one of the best singers in the world, but he is a showman. But when you listen to him live, it's Michael Anthony that keeps things going.
Didn't know or realize that. I've always listened to David. I never paid attention to anybody else.
Well, his voice is unmistakable. It's raspy, but he's usually talking or singing. It's usually gibberish, but when you hear those high pitched vocals in the background, that is Michael Anthony.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I knew that they were brothers, Alex and Eddie, but I never knew the ages. So I didn't know that the drummer, his brother Alex, was the older of the two.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Ed was the
food
baby
for thought,
brother.
in case anybody like me didn't know.
All right, let's finish up little guitars. Okay, so a couple things. First, I remember way back when, some decades ago, my uncle had bought this record. And if I'm correct, there was a disclaimer on the back stating that the sounds you hear were from Eddie and his guitar. There were no synthesizers that were on that record.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I had to listen to the record twice all the way through. Like, are they just playing? But once you see him live, you knew that no, there were no synthesizers. As a matter of fact, Van Halen didn't use keyboards and synthesizers. Say that 10 times real fast. They didn't use them until 1984 when the album 1984 came out.
Didn't know that. That's right, because they actually formed the band 72?
Yes.
Pasadena,
California.
I was five. Count them. 1, 2, 3,
I was
5.
dos.
Yep, Alex started the group. Didn't know that actually David was with them from the beginning.
Yeah. Here's one for you before we close it out.
No.
Their manager originally wanted Sammy Hagar to be the front man in the band, but Sammy was already with Montrose. They had no interest in Dave. But because Dave was his house, they had a place to play because of where they lived.
Yeah.
They let him front the band so that they'd have a place to play and practice. And the rest was history.
Wow. Nope. Didn't know that. Did y'all know that? I didn't know that.
Now, once again, before we close it out, I want to present to you guys, who do you like? David Lee Roth, Sammy Hagar. This was Little Guitars with David Lee Roth fronting Van Halen. I'm the kind of guy that likes them both. I like this song. I say this song is a sizzle. Cass, where you at on there?
Okay, first of all, David Lee, that's my boy. I pick David. Sorry, but David. As far as the song itself, my apologies, but there it is. There it is. Fizzle. Fizzle. It's over.
Wow.
Fizzle. I
Sounded
think
like
the song sounds too much like the typical Van Halen, and it doesn't split off of the typical Van Halen. It's just, I mean, the guitar solo in the beginning. Thank you, I appreciated that. I needed that because otherwise, I was done with the song.
really.
Yes.
All right, guys. Do you
What
agree
is it?
with
What is it?
Cass? Do you agree with me? Is this a sizzle or fizzle for you?
Here it
And
is.
we've already asked you who's your favorite Van Halen frontman. What's your favorite Van Halen song? What should we get on in the future? Now we got another Van Halen song coming, but it's gonna be a Sammy song. But tell us what you think about this song or any other. Like, share, subscribe, and we will be back real soon. Stay positive,
Soon.
stay blessed.
Keep it moving, y'all.
Later.